Welcome to the revolution. In 1945, the United States launched a scientific intelligence initiative titled Operation Stargate. The objective was to recover intelligence on scientific and military projects conducted under the Third Reich. What they found was something much stranger. A cache of documents related to a scientific academy and think tank indicated a division that was basically, it was like the Nazi regime had this scientific think tank that was dedicated to the study of cult sciences. The extensive research was being conducted on sensory perception, spirit channeling, divination, and other forms of anomalous phenomena. The paranormal was being scientifically explored, but from what purpose is unclear. After uncovering these documents, they began to investigate into altered consciousness and the supernatural, and they continued these investigations for decades. Some of these projects, like MKUltra, have been widely reported on. Others, not so much. Some have received little to no exposure since declassification. That one report titled The Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process went largely unexamined until recently. It was declassified in 2003 by the U.S. Army. And it detailed a scientific technique developed by the Monroe Institute to facilitate astral projection in out-of-body experiences and states of altered consciousness. To understand how human consciousness could escape the physical body, McDonald asserted that the world is a hologram, a theory which is shared by even current-day physicists. All matter consists of atoms, small nucleic centers surrounded by large electron energy fields. The energy fields between all matter coexist and interact. And through these interactions, all energy fields become imprinted and encoded with information. Furthermore, complex principles in holographic theory suggest that this imprinting can occur between. And not only is there an interconnectedness between everything we know, but perhaps there is information in our world about dimensions that we have yet to even discover. The holographic theory is further complicated by interaction with human consciousness. We do not passively perceive the world, but through perception, we change it through free will. We can selectively perceive and influence the holographic universe, similar to popular New Age ideas like The Secret and the Law of Attraction. Now, if you don't know what The Secret or the Law of Attraction are, I'm happy to explain. I was given a book by my father, great man, and it was called The Laws of Success. And I was given this book. It was written by Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill is kind of the grandfather of all, motivational speaking today. All of the books that you see on, how to self-improvement basically is a subchapter of information or stems from a certain paragraph even from this book called The Laws of Success. And The Laws of Success was later condensed because I have it right here, actually. Napoleon Hill's Law of Success. All right, here's the book. It is revised and updated by Napoleon Hill, the 21st century edition, and it is approximately 890 pages. 890 pages. And in this book, he describes several things, including a lot of what this even talks about prior to this actually happening. What I see to be interesting about this is it talks about the secret, it talks about the law of attraction, it talks about what turned into many of the modern day New Age ideas. And if you don't know what the secret is about or what the law of attraction is, it's basically interplaying the idea, and it gets pretty deep if you know where our science is going today, which makes it even more interesting. But the principle of the law of attraction is basically that through sheer thought, you can manifest the world, the life, the outcomes that you want in life. Now, I think there's two specific interesting ways to talk about that. The first one being that even if it doesn't have to do with the frequencies of the world, which is, what is asserted by Napoleon Hill in this book, and even asserted through this CIA document, but even if it's not that, right? I guess let's talk on that first. the idea is that the world is vibrations, right? And if you understand how science works, and I don't claim to be a scientist, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but from my understanding, the idea is that everything is movement. Every molecule is shaking, right? There's movement happening all around us at all times. The words that you're hearing from me right now are simply vibrations, right? And those vibrations stem from the vibrations that are happening within my own brain, which is causing, this activity that's coming up with thoughts, which is then coming out verbally, which you're hearing through the vibrational frequencies, right? And that includes the light that's, reflecting off of the walls, that's giving color. Everything in this universe stems from some type of, movement or frequency as a result. So the idea is that there's, if the way that I look at it now, knowing what we know about, where science is going with the idea of multiverses, is that if you align with a certain frequency, right, even when you're not speaking, even just your thoughts are emitting frequencies into the world, and the world picks up on those, whether it's, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it the universe, whatever you want to call it, there is something greater than us that is taking in those vibrational frequencies. And if you put things out enough, the world will start to align with your thoughts. Right. And this comes from, whether or not it's this new wave idea of science, or whether it's even to me, even if it's not that, it may even just have to be the trickling down of the conscious into the subconscious. Right. If I wake up and tell myself every day that I'm going to be a millionaire, right? Let's do the most common one that you'll probably see when people do The Secret, right? I'm going to have all the money in the world. Right? If you just wake up every day and you recite that, and you recite that, and you recite that, and you recite that, right? I'm going to have $1 million by this day. I'm going to have $1 million by this day. Just specifically by doing that, you are pulling you are positioning your subconscious in a way that is what's at the forefront of your mind, even if you're not thinking about it. Right? So you start to pick up on cues around you that may get you closer to that goal, right? Because if every day that you woke up, you said, I'm hungry, I need to find food. I'm hungry, I need to find food. Right? Your brain's going to go, oh, he's hungry. He needs to find food. And so your reticular activating system is going to start to pick up on subtle cues around you, right? That could potentially mean I'm going to eat. Right. So whether has to do with, aligning with the proper multiverse, right, or universe, and that's an even deeper conversation, but, through the manifestation of your own thoughts, or whether it just specifically has to do with you saying something enough to where it trickles into your subconscious, I wholeheartedly believe that there is one shape or another, in one shape or another, you can frame the universe around you specifically through thought. Thoughts, it's a really incredible quote is, if you knew the power of your thoughts, you would never have another negative thought in your life, right? If you knew how powerful each individual thought that went through your brain was, you would never think anything that would position you in a way to receive back any negativity. Right. And we're getting a little bit in the woods with this, but I think it's important to understand this manifestation idea because it comes up later in these documents where it talks about those frequencies, the frequencies that you start to align with, the vibrational waves that you're putting out into the universe is what's going to come back to you in one way, shape, or another. So